Hello and welcome back to this edition of Bayou Time. Again, your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Trevor Home Care. Very glad you are joining us because it's always good to bring to you some good news. You know, for the last year, we've all been dealing with so many different things, but we've got great news for you today. We're excited about welcoming Rebecca Quinn, who is with the Bayou Country Children's Museum. Welcome to the program.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you. And we're excited because you've gotten some really exciting news here, not just about this grand reopening, but you've been the business development representative for some time, right?
That's right. That's right.
And then this last week, some other changes.
Yeah. So as it turns out, I've moved back to my native home parish, Lafourche Parish. I've been gone for about 19 years after graduating and been out west on the West Coast for quite some time. And so I came back right in 2021, and I was working with the museum doing business development and meeting old and new friends, and it's been a wonderful homecoming. And just recently, the board decided to name me the interim executive director. So I'm doing that for the time being, and I'm really, really excited to be back in Lafourche and back just a part of the community here.
Back home.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back home. Let's talk about the excitement about what's happening with the museum because, you know, Ida hit lots of different places, but they hit the museum hard.
It really did. It really did. We had to do a whole rebuild on the inside. So we had roof damage, some internal damage. So we have new walls, new flooring, new paint, new light fixtures. So it was a whole remodel and a whole rebuild. So, but in the middle of that, I tell you, the community support has been unbelievable. Just people reaching out. With, you know, words of encouragement, but also monetary support while we've been closed for the last year. So it's just beautiful to see people really coming together and wanting to see something good in our community remain there.
Right.
And so people feel the burden and the need to give. And it's been just wonderful to be the recipient of all of that. So.
Well, let's put that flyer up, Jen. I want people to know about this grand reopening. It's a beautiful flyer, by the way. And so the grand reopening of the Bayou Country Children's Museum is going to be on Saturday, October the 1st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., 4 wonderful hours. And of course, the Bayou Country Children's Museum is located at 211 Rue Betancourt in Thibodaux, Louisiana. You cannot miss it coming around the bypass road. It's right there on the right, just past where Acadia Boulevard kind of ends at the bypass road. It's just, you cannot miss it. It's right there. People can come out and play the Cajun way at the Bayou Country Children's Museum. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things that people can expect on that day.
Yeah, so it's a totally free event. So we'll have about 15 vendors, and I really was able to capture a lot of vendors from down in southern Lafourche Parish, down the Bayou.
Wow.
So I have a lot of my old friends come in. And so we'll have some vendors, some craft vendors, along with 3 food trucks, I believe, you know, popcorn and snowballs and all of the things. We're working on getting a balloon art and face painting, of course, and all the things for the kids.
Yeah, the kids want to be able to come in.
That's right. That's right. Oh, the Cajun Music Preservation Society will be playing Cajun music there, and then it's free entrance to the museum. So we really wanted to put out a free event and just bless the community and say, hey, come here, come on by, bring the kids, bring the grandkids, check it out. You may not have ever seen it before, especially with all the kids that were born in COVID and then, you know, couldn't get out in Ida. And so there's a lot of the toddler ages that maybe have never been before. So, so we're excited to offer that to the community.
A great opportunity. And again, this is a great way to kind of introduce and or reintroduce the museum back to those people that, you know, there are people that I know go routinely or used to go routinely. And then again, like you mentioned, COVID, they weren't able to do that. And then Ida hits, and now recovery for a year for the museum, like a lot of us, still in recovery for a year. But a lot of things to look forward to. And so we want to let people know that this very important part over in northern Lafourche Parish is there. And I love the fact that you're bringing all your friends from South Lafourche, right? So South meets North all the time. And Lafourche just being one of those wonderful areas, we like to really allow for the kids, and the Children's Museum does that, be able to embrace the culture and learn a little bit about that. And that's really what it's about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's unique about the museum is that we celebrate Cajun culture and want to educate area children and anybody who comes through about what we have here in southern Louisiana. And so we have a giant John Deere sugarcane harvester in the museum where kids can, with a slide attached to it, where kids can go and interact. And we have an oil platform. Of course, it's not to
scale,
scale,
right?
but then my dad worked on an oil platform his whole life. So as a kid, like I never really understood what he did, but so we're bringing that to children so they can understand. Hey, maybe a little bit. This is what my dad does, and then you can like throw the fishing line off the edge,
Off the edges, right?
yeah, and all those wonderful things. And of course, there's educational pieces on screens there to talk more about what that looks like. We have an estuary exhibit. We have a Mardi Gras float of sorts where you can throw the beads to the people waving their hands.
Right, right.
And there's another shrimp boat exhibit there. Oh, and two brand new exhibits to offer
Okay.
right at the grand opening. So
Okay.
the wonderful people are Barker Auto family.
Right.
They donated it's an electric car exhibit. An
Okay.
electric car exhibit. And
Right.
also we have an eye wall. So it's a movement censored, interactive Nintendo, sort of like a Nintendo screen. Well, you have to just come and see
Yeah,
it.
you got to come and see it because it moves when your eyes move, right?
you got
Very
it.
good. Jen, throw that flyer up one more time. Again, Saturday, October the 1st, 10 to 2 at the Bayou Country Children's Museum over in Thibodaux, Louisiana. Rebecca, thank you so very much for coming on and talking with us. We appreciate it. Really excited and looking forward to lots of people coming out and experiencing the museum.
Thanks so much.
All right, absolutely. All right, guys, that will do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming here on HTV.